Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's coming. No. When do we start?
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I wanna podcast.
That's really not where I thought that was going.
Low energy, to say the least.
Well, we got to get ourselves amped up. We're into August. It's the Sunday of summer. Fall is right around the corner. But more importantly, I think we should start the show off with a bang, with a big announcement that you posted on the social medias.
Oh, yeah, Steve's doing a signing.
Wow. Let's try that again. You have a big announcement that you've been posting on the social media, Zach, in regards to the store.
On August 26th, Steve Levine, Ninja Turtles artist, writer, inker, colorist, will be making his triumphant return to the store, where he's going to do a signing for a day, and I'm going to have a big old sale.
Nice. It's the store's 2-year anniversary.
A little bit beyond, but, for scheduling reasons.
Yes, but still, that's exciting.
We'll be doing a sale on the day. I put it up online. I don't remember what I said I'm doing. Quite frankly, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, this is important. The people need to know.
It's still a ways away. I put it up early.
Well, it's always good to get the word out.
Well, my more thing is, I'm going to say, it doesn't apply to pull list or special order items, just so people aren't waiting me out on those.
Fair enough. Let's see. Editor's Note Comics.
That's me.
Yeah, it's at Ed's Note Comics. There we go. Come meet TMNT artist Steve Levine, August 26th. Buy 2, get 1 free graphic novels, 25% off all toys and collectibles, and 40% off all comic back issues, a raffle, and giveaways.
Mostly for kids. Like, the giveaway thing is mostly for the young ones.
And me. I want to give away.
I'm mostly going to go to, like, Party City and buy, like, 25-cent things to give away to kids.
Well, good for you.
It's for the kids, but...
It's for the kids.
Yeah. If, like, adults are like, ooh, trinkets! Like, why?
You know what? I'd like to see the adult that walks into the store and sees the giveaway for the kids and go, ooh, trinkets! Who uses the word trinkets anymore?
It's not an old-timey word. It's just a word.
What do you, like, have a knick-knack shelf? Is that what... Do you have that upstairs? You probably also have, like, a whatnot drawer.
No.
You definitely... Everybody has a whatnot drawer. You know what a whatnot drawer is, right?
I'm too organized for that.
Oh, come on. So you know what a whatnot drawer is then. So you just a drawer, you throw stuff. It happens. I have pens, pencils, markers, a checkbook perhaps,
and
scissors.
Look, I can't announce too many things in 1 week, so I think I'll announce another thing next week.
Ah, the tease.
But I'm working on a project. It's not a project I'm going to be able to monetize. It's just more of a passion project. It's going to take me a few months to complete.
Ah.
But I'm going to need help.
Oh, you need help, all right.
Yeah, a little bit. But
is this like the time you said, hey, I need some help, and I ended up spending 2 days helping you move?
It was 2 days, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I got that big-ass U-Haul.
Yeah.
No, this time what I'm
You conned me into that. You're like, oh, I just need help for like a couple of hours 2 days later.
It was worse, and I was like, the washer and dryer can't fit in the same spot anymore. Also, there's a couch. That's when it got bad. In all fairness, I'm going to die here.
Oh, well. There are worse places to die, I suppose.
But I'm going to need 18 voice actors.
I can be one.
I'm going to need 17 voice actors.
You could be one.
I'm including myself already.
Oh.
I don't even want to include myself, but I think I have to. But I'm going to do a project that's never been done.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think I'll announce it next week. But if you think that you could voice act a thing and not get paid... But the opportunity to be directed by me, not an opportunity.
So really what this is if you want to know what it's like to be me on the podcast.
The other show I actually do voice direction. I don't do it on this one.
Oh, you just trust me enough?
I don't think you'd be receptive to voice direction. Like, give it to me again, but give it to me a little different.
Oh, well, I did do 4 years of communications in radio school.
Like, I need you to read that line, because we have lines on the show, like we have a script. I'm like, read it a little different. I need you to reflect this.
Okay. Oh, like where your motivation is coming from.
Yeah, but...
So, like, if I were to say, and now, the news. That's not going to cut it for you. Give me some direction. All right? Right now, I want some direction. I'm going to introduce the news, and you're going to give me some direction right now.
I feels at this point I should probably just announce what I'm going to do, shouldn't I? I feel like I've been talking about it too long. It's no longer a tease. It's now been a conversation.
Well, I also want to be directed a little bit.
Look, if you want me to direct you throughout the show, I will.
Okay.
It's going to involve a lot fewer you knows and ums.
Okay.
I cut that stuff in editing.
I'm receptive. See, you could save yourself some time if you would just take the time to direct me a little bit where it was needed.
You know what's funny? And I mean, when you hear the final product, you don't hear it. I don't say a lot, but I do say you know and pause for like 5 seconds.
And you also say, baby!
I never cut that. Yeah, I mean, you don't listen to the finished product, but you say a lot. I go, you know. And then I pause. And then I cut like all that space and all those you knows.
All right. I'm going to introduce the news. We'll hold off. At the end of the show, you can announce your project. We'll get somebody to listen for the whole hour for once. That'd be nice.
Some people do.
Yeah, some people do. All right. So I'm going to...
Actually, you know what? I saw our final numbers for the month. We did take a hit because of that Catholic Creatives thing.
Oh, well.
But, so our numbers are worse than last month. Just we did lose a fair number of subscribers because of that weird RSS feed mix-up. Mm-hmm. But our numbers are still better than the month before. So we took a hit, but not the worst hit in the world.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to introduce the news, and I want you to give me some direction, okay? And now, time for the news.
Where's your pathos?
I don't know. I'm a method actor.
No, you're not.
You're right. How about this? Well, it's time to go on to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Do you want to start with stupid news or regular news?
I love me the stupid news.
Hey, sound guy, can I get a stupid news sound drop? Because I feel like I'll be able to use this more than once.
Oh, that's stupid.
I hope he doesn't use that. Please don't.
Do it. Oh,
he's going to know.
You want some more inflection? Well, that's stupid.
Okay, let's start with the stupid news.
Okay.
Because I don't know how else to describe it. This week, a Marvel editor put out on Twitter that she was getting milkshakes with her coworkers from Marvel.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
You know what? Being an evil prospector probably would have been more appropriate than most of Twitter.
Okay.
Because a lot of people just lit up at this editor like faux geek girls, like you're part of the problem, you're the worst, like bunch of dumb old milkshake drinking ladies.
What's wrong with drinking a damn milkshake?
For whatever reason, Twitter just attacked this Marvel editor.
For having a milkshake?
With her Marvel coworkers, like bunch of chicks. This is a man's medium.
I'm sure there are plenty of men in the medium who drink milkshakes.
I'd also like to potentially rename this segment the Shut Up News. So there was this big outrage, and the next day the editor came back. She's like, the internet is the worst place ever. Like, I posted a photo with my friends just doing this thing. And then thankfully the positive side of the internet came out, and a lot of people were like, fans, writers, creators, whatever, like people were posting photos of like them and milkshakes. And the old like phrase from back in like the Stan and Jack days were like, make mine Marvel. And the hashtag make mine milkshake was born out of this.
So the internet recovered itself.
Yeah, a little bit, which is nice. It's like, that's a good way to just stomp on the dumb trolls.
I still don't understand what the big deal is.
There isn't anything.
Why are people hating on this young woman going to have a milkshake?
Because they're assholes.
Did it bring all the boys? It definitely brought all the boys to the evil Twitter.
Yeah, it brought them to the yard, and then let's preferably kick them in the nuts. I don't have to bleep nuts, do I?
No, you don't have to bleep nuts.
But my favorite part of this, and I retweeted it today, was DC put together all the women who were in the office. I'm assuming like they didn't like dive deep into the explanation, but they got all of the women at DC together, and they just all got milkshakes, and they just put out the hashtag make mine milkshake, which, you know what, competition aside, yeah, fight against assholes.
Yes, we should fight against the assholes.
So I don't know, like, I just thought that was a really classy thing for them to do.
Yeah, I think it's important because it seems like where they're coming from, these internet idiots, these losers.
Women can work in comics, that's fine? What are you doing?
The way you said it made it sound like a question.
No, I mean, I'm questioning why they're angry. It's so stupid.
We've spent a good 4 minutes talking about stupidity on this show, which is right on par with where we normally are this part of the show.
This is why I'd like to rename this segment The Stupid News. What a dumb thing. What's funny is
yes, quickly.
I went away for the day. I went to the beach and I came back and I saw like all this milkshake stuff. I'm like, what the hell did I miss? Did no one else take the day off? I did.
Speaking of stupid news, I came across this, Jim. I meant to send this to you, but I kind of want to see your reaction in person.
Report, naked Chicago man, high on... Okay. That's a terrifying headline. What website are you getting this from?
Should I finish off what was on there?
No, that's okay.
Okay, well, there you go.
So let's move away from stupid news.
There, I capped off the stupid news with that.
You read a thing that ended up being accurate last week.
Did I really?
Daniel Craig is back as Bond.
I brought news to the show that was real.
You brought a rumor that ended up being true.
I'd like to think it was a scoop.
Yeah, that's
we were the first ones to report it on this show.
We're not. But yeah, Daniel Craig is officially back for Bond 25, which is really no surprise because he was still under contract for one more movie.
He could have bought himself out of it, probably.
It doesn't really matter what his opinion of it was. He was still under contract. The man who said he would rather slit his wrist with broken glass than do another Bond is back.
Well, just remember Harrison Ford said he didn't ever want to set foot on a Star Wars set again.
Yeah, but he got them to pay him a lot of money and kill him off.
True. I saw a really interesting fan theory, that Han activates the lightsaber when Kylo Ren kills him.
No.
To help bring him home because he won't fully go to the dark side because he didn't kill his father.
No, don't buy that for a second. That's a stupid theory.
Okay, I'm just sharing it with you.
But yeah, Daniel Craig is back for the 25th Bond movie. It's Bond 25. Do we get more Bond actors? Does Sean Connery come out of retirement?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good conversation.
No, I don't. Why? Why would they do that?
I have no faith in this movie just based on how bad the last one was with Craig. And they even wrapped up the story. So what are you going to do at that point? Like, you've wrapped up the story. Then the next movie is just him on a random mission?
Well, that's what they were for the first 22.
Yeah, but
21.
It just seems strange. I don't know. I'll watch it. Just because, I guess.
Yeah.
You have my money based on a brand. Good for you.
Maybe it'll be like the campy Pierce Brosnan ones. Those were good. I liked those.
I liked 2 out of 4.
See you back at the lodge. I guess he got the point. All those Bond lines.
Christmas only arrives once a year.
No, it's not what he says.
Oh, is that not what he said? Okay. Well,
no, I thought Christmas only came once a year.
Yeah, that's... We've said it before and we'll say it again. At least me. It's a bad line.
It wasn't good.
Speaking of casting... In a comic book series I know literally nothing about, but they're about to do a new number 1. Jared Leto has been cast in the Bloodshot movie as Bloodshot through the Valiant Comics universe. They haven't had anything out for any kind of cinematic universe yet, or TV or anything.
Just put your hat into the ring. Join up. Jump in.
They're pretty low. They have about 1% of the market.
Yes, I believe we discussed this.
Yeah, but I mean, they have their whole entire superhero universe. Like, they have devoted fans. My concern here, and it doesn't really affect my life that much, is that the big like movie shared universe is kind of like the thing to do right now. A very small portion of the population knows what Valiant is, and I'd be like afraid that they would try and like build on their mythos. My thing would be like, make one good movie. If you can make one good movie, then build on it and build the world out. Don't try and set yourself up for an entire universe and then fall flat on your face.
Good advice.
Yeah, that's just my thought. I know literally nothing about Bloodshot. I know that Jared Leto is doing a ton of movies after taking like a 5-year hiatus. Like, he seemed to be real picky, and now he just seems to be doing anything that comes along.
Well, he did do Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I mean, before Dallas Buyers Club, he had like a 5-year break. Like, and he seemed to be real picky about whatever movie roles he took. And now he's just grabbing them left and right.
That Dallas Buyers Club was a phenomenal film, though.
Yeah, it was. Bad news, or good, I don't know. With James Cameron getting the rights back to the Terminator in 2019, he's saying that the plan is to do a new trilogy.
Okay, so time out, Jim. JC. Jimmy Cameron. He's going to be doing like multiple Avatar films and a Terminator trilogy?
Producing. Because Tim Miller, the guy who did the first Deadpool, is supposed to be doing the next one.
The next Terminator or the next
Yeah.
Avatar?
Next Terminator. No, Cameron has all the Avatar ones, but he's going to be producing all the Terminator ones.
Oh, okay.
As I have suggestions for Bloodshot, I don't know why Hollywood hasn't hired me yet. Here's my suggestion.
You live in Maine?
I guess that's part of it.
It's hard to be discovered out here.
Supposedly Arnold is back for these. I mean, use Arnold if you have to. I personally wouldn't. I would, if you're going to do more Terminator, scrap everything. Use the term reimagining in its most core term. Don't just redo the same story. Don't try and do something else with the timeline. Reimagine it in a new way that hasn't been done. Take elements and twist them in a new way, because it's not going to work if you just keep trying to rehash the stupid time travel storyline. It's been beat to death so badly, I don't think you can do anything out of it. And even if you just take Terminator 1 and 2 as their own story, there's really nowhere to go from there, and clearly there hasn't been, because we've had 3 failed attempts and a failed TV show, and a bunch of weird comics. If you're going to do Terminator again, reimagine it. And that's not saying reboot it, I'm saying take the concept of time-traveling robots and twist it in a way that hasn't been done. That's the only way you can do this franchise at this point.
Why hasn't Hollywood hired you yet?
In all fairness, I literally gave them no idea. Said just don't do this, but turn it a different
You're
way.
like, here, don't do that. That's my idea. Okay.
That's my thought.
I like it. Instead of trying to give us something rehashed, retreaded, rebooted, something we've seen before, I like it. Although the counter argument, let me play, there I did it again. Now I'm so conscious of the us. Thanks.
The us, okay.
Let me play devil's advocate. What about the person who's like, I'm going to the theater to see a Terminator movie. I know the formula. I know what's going to happen. I'm going there because I want to see it. Like a Steven Seagal picture. All right? You don't go to a Steven Seagal picture and expect anything different than him like having like some sort of Native American garb on, or some sort of beads, or some sort of Asian culture. He roundhouse kicks a few fools and gets the girl in the end. That's a Steven Seagal picture. Same formula. He does the same thing in every movie. Am I wrong? Usually he's like don't forget, also in a Steven Seagal movie, he's also some sort of like ex-military, ex-marine, ex-cop.
He's a cop in real life now, like honorary police.
So is Shaq. Shaq's he's a
doctor.
sheriff. Shaq's also a doctor?
Yeah.
The doctor of rebounding. Shaq Fu.
Not of foul shots.
Shazam. Listen, doctors have specialties, all right? I don't want a dermatologist working on my heart, okay?
What was your first doctor? What was pedal?
I was going to say podiatrist, which is a foot doctor.
I'm aware of that, but pedal isn't anything.
Well, no, I was trying to say podiatrist, and I was also trying to say dermatologist at the same time. Podiadermatologist, I don't know.
A foot skin doctor. The most specific of doctors.
Yes.
Just deal with your foot skin.
Yes.
A lot of calluses.
He's a callous man.
I'm going to tackle your skin bunion.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Time-traveling robot. Think of a different thing to do with a time-traveling robot.
Besides going back in time and killing everybody?
I would say just get rid of like the Connors altogether and do a different thing with it.
What about a totally different timeline?
100%.
Like the timeline skews because of the Terminator.
Spitballing ideas that no one was going to hear. It's not going to matter. Have a time-traveling robot go back in time to prevent like the advancements in robotics, because it like takes humanity further away from.
That's such a paradox. That's such a paradox, because if he does that, then how do the robots become sentient in order to come back and travel through time?
Split timeline.
Oh, like the alternate 1985?
Yeah.
Did you see, by the way, Facebook created an AI? Here's another creepy thing.
Actually, that was cancel out that idea. I'm going to write myself a comic book series.
There you go. Facebook created an AI that developed its own language, and they had to shut it down.
Yeah, that was weird.
Dude, it's coming, man.
Speaking of things that are coming in the near future, Marvel has announced a few things in the past week that are super exciting. We know that Marvel Legacy is coming, which is fine and dandy. A lot of books are returning to their original numbering. Some of them they're cheating a little bit on, but I'm not going to get into that. But following this Marvel Generations thing, the first one dropped this week with the Hulk. Actually, let's stick to the Hulk. Going off of last week, the current Hulk, Amadeus Cho, who really rose to prominence in World War Hulk, and is the current Hulk, is going to be returning to Sakaar.
Unfinished business.
That's right. The cart Hulk is going back to Planet Hulk, baby. I think that's exciting. I like that story. I know you just read it, but for me, that's old history.
What's left for him on Sakaar? His wife and child are dead.
No, it's a new Hulk.
Oh.
It's a different Hulk.
Maybe he can form his own wife and child.
He could. I mean, it'd be weird because he's like a teenager.
Hey, start him young.
Wrong. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, that used to happen in like the olden days.
But I'm excited about that, to have the Hulk go back to Sakaar. Different Hulk, so we'll see how he reacts to that environment as a different version of that character. It was also announced that Jason Aaron, current Thor writer / current Star Wars writer / until very recently Doctor Strange writer, is going to be doing a series called Marvel 1 Million BC.
Talk about time travel.
With variations on different... Jason Aaron's an amazing writer. He's one of the best out there right now. Like, hands down, what he touches is usually gold.
Touch me.
With the Midas touch?
Why not?
Because then you'd be gold and dead.
I'd be the gilded man.
But some
How about
teaser...
just touch some trinkets for me?
Some teaser images were released. Like, one of the upfront ones that's easy is he's going to do, Odin in 1 million BC. But then he also has other ones like Ghost Rider in 1 million BC. Well, you know what didn't exist in 1 million BC?
The wheel?
Yeah. So you know what he has instead?
A square?
A flaming mammoth.
That mammoth needs to see a doctor.
That's amazing.
He needs to see a podiatrist dermatologist.
I can't wait to see Marvel 1 million BC. That sounds like so much fun.
Is it going to just really not take itself very seriously at all?
Ghost Rider is on a flaming mammoth. I can't imagine they're going to take it that seriously. It just sounds like a lot of fun.
Will there be dinosaurs?
I hope so.
Now we're talking in space?
No.
We can't have everything in life, Zach.
Wait till I'm a writer. Technically, I'm a writer. Wait till I'm a better, more published writer.
Where people take your ideas.
Yeah.
And create them into things.
I'd be the worst writer.
Wow. A lot of confidence you got in yourself there, Bowen.
I just do stupid things. I think this is funny.
There's
I also like how I'm pantomiming, painting broad strokes.
I'm sure there's a market for your crap out there somewhere.
Yeah, right? The upcoming story, Doomsday Clock, which is going to be combining Watchmen with the DC Rebirth stuff, almost didn't happen. That was the original plan, and then it almost got scrapped because Jeff Johns couldn't quite crack the story.
But he fixed it?
Apparently.
All right.
And now he's been plugging away with good old artist Gary Frank. He's like, yeah, then it was all going to fall apart. Then a bunch of terrible things in the world happened, and it kind of sparked my imagination.
I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak to it. But you seem like you're excited.
I am. I mean, trying to move Watchmen forward, and even if it's bad, it's not going to take away from what came before.
Like how a good movie doesn't get ruined by a bad sequel?
Yeah, you can kind of pick and choose. And I mean, I have faith in the creative team, and I don't think they would be trying to mess around with the pedigree unless it was worthwhile. And then I have a couple images to show you.
Oh, please, show me some images. What am I looking at here?
That is scroll concept art for Captain Marvel.
Ah.
As someone who doesn't know what a scroll looks like, let me just do a quick old scroll.
I think I've heard of scrolls before.
They're a shape-changing race that originally came through.
Oh, that's right, because you talked about, you're like, everyone was a scroll.
Yeah, compared to that.
Oh, it's not too far off, minus the giant pointy ears.
Still pointy ears.
Yeah, but not fantastically pointy, like Bat Boy from
the National
Enquirer. Yeah.
But I think that looks pretty cool.
That's pretty badass, I'm not going to lie.
I totally buy that art. It looked great.
Yes.
And definitely one of the Avengers is a Skrull.
Ooh, but which one?
Hawkeye, because he sucks.
All right. That's putting a really fine point on it.
Our first image of Domino was released for Deadpool 2.
Oh. Kind of looks like Elvira.
And they released the image in the same way that Deadpool was revealed for Deadpool 1. Deadpool was doing Burt Reynolds on a bearskin rug. Except this time, Domino is lying on Deadpool like he's the bearskin.
Ah. Kind of looks like Elvira a little bit at first glance. You know Elvira, right?
Yes, I know Elvira.
Mistress of the Night.
This version of Domino still has the weird thing over her eye.
Yes, but she also has Sandy D at the end of Grease hair.
Weird reference, but sure.
It works.
Yeah, I guess.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Domino's whole power is she basically creates
Aquanet.
it's almost a luck power. Like, she creates unlikely statistics and makes them likely. Like, oh, that's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. Well, you're gonna make that 1,000,000 to 1 shot with a gun.
Oh, So she could like win the lottery.
Yes, that's her power. Lottery winning. I bet she could.
Oh, wow. That's actually not terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why Domino just doesn't get scratch tickets a bunch.
Or you know what? She could be like a great wing person at the bar. Oh, 20 to 1 shot that you can get that person's number. Let's go to work.
Well, she's also crazy in shape. She could probably get that number.
Oh.
Like every superhero.
Not with that hair, though. That hair is off-putting.
Comic book or live action?
Live action.
Oh, I liked it.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just a lot of hairspray involved in that. A lot of up.
It would be time consuming.
Not good for the ozone.
But that's the news.
Oh, good news. Good news. A solid news segment. Continuing with the theme here, I'm going to introduce Jared's Reading Corner. I want you to direct me.
All right.
Okay? And it's now time for my favorite segment on the show, Jared's Reading Corner.
I didn't believe you're right. I don't think it's your favorite.
You're right. I like movie reviews, but I don't mind Jared's Reading Corner. I'll try it again. And now for...
I definitely don't believe that performance.
And now for everyone's favorite part of the show, Jared's Reading Corner.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
This week... I'm sorry, did you want direction? You're looking at me expectantly.
Yeah, like you spoke in the middle of my line.
It's fine, don't worry. This isn't a script. We're not reading from a script.
Oh, sorry. This week, it's time for Jared's Reading Corner.
We already did the intro. You don't know that because
Oh.
we're doing it live.
Hell with it.
We're gonna O'Reilly this.
Okay.
But this week we are tackling the 1995 out of nowhere comic book series Marvel versus DC Comics, or DC versus Marvel, depending on which issue you're looking at.
Quick question, maybe because I'm ignorant. Does this happen before or after Civil War?
Well before.
Okay, just because in the beginning,
Like 13 years before.
Spider-Man's like, oh, it's good to put on this costume and this mask again.
Oh yeah, we're getting into that.
So it felt kind of like, to me, like, oh, Spider-Man is like after.
No.
I should have known better. Sorry for my ignorance.
No, this
and
is
it
a
won't
tough
happen
one.
again today.
No, I wrote that down as one of my notes. This is a tough one to rate out of context because this is coming out of all of the clone stuff with Spider-Man and Ben Reilly and all of that. So reading it out of context, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
was
not reading it like
confused.
out of context of the 90s. But what this was a kind of sad attempt at marketing from Marvel and DC where they were going to combine their books. They've done it before a few times. There's been a few crossover stories you've had, like Spider-Man and Superman, the Hulk and Batman, Silver Surfer, Green Lantern. Like, they've done crossovers before, but never to this big of a scale. And what they did is within Marvel versus DC, they had a bunch of different character mashups. And instead of writing them themselves, they treated it to write-in votes. Like, who do you think would win in this matchup versus this matchup? It got relegated to fans.
I did see that you could like
Yeah, it was
write in. The fans
it was a
could like
letter
vote.
writing campaign. So super official.
Yeah, there was some really interesting. I liked the scorecard in the back of the first or second book, like who was winning and who was losing. That was in the second book.
I think the readers were losing.
Mm.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best. Since my name isn't Jared, how about your reading corner this bitch up?
All right, so we get Spider-Man swinging around New York.
He's like, thank God that clone thing's all over with. Ben Reilly here, or Peter Parker, depending.
Yeah, I was very confused by that.
We will never get into the clone stuff.
Please don't confuse me.
The clone saga is regarded as one of, if not the worst things to ever happen to Marvel Comics.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for that information.
We're never going to tackle the clone
So
saga.
Spidey's like, good quiet night, just kind of getting back into the groove. Oh, my Spidey sense is tingling. Oh, it's a glowing cardboard box in an alleyway, and now I've been sucked into an alternative universe. I just so happen to be in Metropolis with the Joker. Oh, he's in Gotham with the Joker.
Well, you've literally summed up issue 1. This is a 4-issue miniseries, and most of issue 1 involves characters just popping into other universes, the main one being Spider-Man.
Robin ending up at...
Jubilee's bed.
Yeah, good for her.
Because
She likes his style, his costume choice.
But issue 1 is almost entirely just characters popping in and out from different universes. And what is causing these characters to pop in and out from different universes?
This cardboard box of gold.
That a hobo has. It's a hobo house.
That's a hell of a hobo house.
Yeah.
An interdimensional portal, a fourth dimension portal.
You'd think it'd be something big, but it's literally a hobo in an alley with a box. He's like, this is where I live, and people keep popping in and out of it. I didn't invite them.
Yeah, and they're all caped, winged, super totem freaks.
Stop wearing so much spandex.
There's
Especially
nothing wrong
you,
with-
Spider-Man.
There's nothing wrong with a little spandex every now and then.
Look, I'm going to say this is a guy who's worked, I mean, not a ton, but enough Comic-Cons at this point to be able to say this with some confidence. If you were to buy a store-bought or internet-bought Spider-Man costume, looking at you in profile is not your best angle.
This fashion tip brought to you by Zach.
It's hilarious
also-
at Comic-Cons.
Also raises the question, why don't you see Spider-Man's junk like in the movies and or comics?
I don't know, compression shorts?
Is he a eunuch?
Compression shorts is my answer, / digital editing, but
A little bit of both.
that's the funniest
He doesn't
thing.
have a big swinging blue wang like Dr. Manhattan.
Whenever I'm at a con, like whenever there's a Spider-Man,
Call
it's
him
just
Dr. Dong instead of Dr. Manhattan.
and there it is.
I like that, by the way, there's the guy in the alley like, what's going on? The guy's like, we have no time for exposition.
Yeah, it's just an alleyway of homeless universe switching.
So anyway, we find out that these two cosmic brothers, which span time and space and all that stuff, whom have never spoken but have been kept apart by like, what was it? Not the Illuminati, that was last week.
They just forgot each other. They used to know
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. Basically, these two cosmic beings who run different universes, one of them being Marvel, one of them being DC, have been asleep for a long time and forgot the other one existed. And then they woke up, found each other, and got pissed. And they're like,
Let's fight!
my brother can't be my superior.
Anyway,
These beings are stupid.
but who were like there were like a couple of people like the living,
The Living Tribunal and
Yes.
the Spectre, they try and do their own things on the side.
yes, they're trying to like stop them from fighting.
Yeah.
But that's later on. But anyway, they say in order to solve this, the two universes, heroes, champions from each universe must fight, and whoever wins the most fights, they get to keep the universe.
And the other one implodes.
Yes.
One of my favorite match fights is Captain America versus Bane, because you'll see a bunch of things like Superman versus the Juggernaut. Juggernaut loses. You
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
That was from a YouTube video. But my favorite one is Captain America versus Bane. Like, Bane gets Captain America's shield, and he picks up Captain America.
Has him in the back break position.
Yeah, he's gonna break Captain America like he broke Batman. It's like, I must break you, and like snaps his spine over his knee, except Captain America messes Bane up.
with the shield.
One Batman couldn't. I loved it. That was a great moment. That might be my favorite moment from this whole thing.
That was a good one.
Of Captain America just destroying Bane and be like, no one breaks America.
Take that. You might have me in the torture rack now, but I'll be standing on top. So we start getting these champions fights.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of very similar characters fighting similar characters. In fact, I've written them all down.
Oh, yes, you have. I see that. I couldn't remember. There were some characters I'm like, who that?
Our first fight is Thor versus Shazam. This is just any Thor. This is 90s Thor with ineffective armor. It covers his nipples, but not his abs.
He's got to show them abs off. Thor Odin's son.
Did you not look at that armor?
That Thor is hotter than the sun and bigger than the ocean, man. He's got to show it off.
That is some terrible armor. It's like this big X across his chest that's just this horrible blue armor. He has like nipple length hair. It's
Blonde and...
It's not armor. I mean, I guess it
Yeah.
covers parts of him, but not enough parts to be effective, I guess.
It's effective enough because he kicked Shazam's ass.
Yeah. Thor beats Shazam because Shazam needs lightning to power himself. So Thor is just like, I'm going to take that over here. God of lightning and thunder. And now you're just a little boy, and I'm going to punch a boy.
And he does.
Punches a boy.
Puts
and
him
he
right to
wins.
sleep. Good night.
Then we get the Flash versus Quicksilver, the thumbnail for this episode.
Yes.
And the Flash wins as the Flash should.
The Flash also saves some people from like a car getting blown up. By the way, my favorite crossover is when J. Jonah Jameson becomes the editor of the Daily Planet.
Oh yeah, unexplained.
But funny.
He's like, Clark Kent, you get me those articles.
On time.
Peter Parker, you photograph for Superman. And Peter's like, hey, Lois, you want to go to dinner with me? She's like, no, I'm with this other massive individual, Clark Kent. He's like, ah!
Oh, I'm just going to go
He looks like a nerd, but he's very muscular.
I'm going to go develop film and cry. Embarrassed. I liked it, though, like, there's no smoking in here, Chief. I'll smoke wherever I want, and don't call me Chief.
Love Angry Jameson.
Is there any other kind of Jameson?
We got Namor versus Aquaman.
Things don't go well for Namor in that.
No, Aquaman kicks his ass.
Yes, he does.
Most of what we're getting here is we're getting like a 2-page spread of these characters fighting each other just because there isn't enough room for them all to...
Except for the next fight. The next fight is like 3 panels.
More. Oh, what? Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Because they just had a crossover recently. They're like, we fought together recently, my brother, but now I must kicketh thou's ass.
And Silver Surfer just like bitch slaps him down.
Look, it's Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
The bitchliest, I guess. Guy Gardner's more than Kyle Rayner. But he beats the hell out of Kyle Rayner.
And he goes, I've never regretted beating an enemy more than you.
Elektra versus Catwoman. Elektra wins.
Yep. Solid win for her.
Wolverine versus Lobo, which is basically Space Wolverine.
Space Wolverine got grounded.
Yes.
Houston, he had a problem.
One of my favorite ones, Wonder Woman versus Storm.
This is kind of an upset in my mind.
Well, because Wonder Woman gives up her advantage. Thor has thrown his hammer down, and Wonder Woman reads it. She's like...
It's really subjective. Worthy.
Whoever holds this hammer, or however like they be worthy, she's like, oh, worthiness is really subjective. And she just picks it up. She's like, I have the power of Thor!
By the power of Grayskull.
Nope, wrong thing.
Whatever. Same difference.
And then Storm comes at her. She's like, this would be cheating. So Wonder Woman fights Storm and loses. She probably should have kept that hammer. She's one of many characters to pick up Thor's hammer. It's been done a bunch. Even by DC characters. Wonder Woman's picked it up. Superman's picked it up at different points in time. This is the Wonder Woman one.
Vision picks it up.
In a movie.
Oh, he still picks it up.
Yes. Captain America picks it up a couple of times.
Good for Cap. He budges it in the movie.
Spider-Man versus Superboy. It's real crap, and Spider-Man wins. And then we get our two kind of like main grudge matches.
Main of fights. Yeah, like the main event.
Our main of fights?
Main of fights.
Main of fights.
Main of fights.
I'm not going to edit this out for you.
I'm sticking with it. Main of fights. Main event fights.
Main of... Yeah, like I'm trying to sneak words
Main
in there.
event fights.
Main of fights. So one of our first main...
The main of fights. It's for our Italian audience.
But we get our two main of fights with
The
Superman versus
main
the
of
Hulk.
fights. Yes.
And the Hulk loses badly.
Well, what do you expect? The last son of Krypton versus the Hulk.
For the Hulk to lose badly.
And he does.
Good job, write-in votes. If you counted it all. Because there's always that.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they know?
Superman. You can't have that's like Superman's the DC flagship character. Can I point out that both the main of fights, DC wins.
Yeah. I mean, I think in both cases I would agree with them. And then we get Captain America versus Batman, and the two of them are the most rational. They're like, why are we doing this? This isn't going to benefit us. And then they fight anyway.
Well, they were fighting for like 3 days.
And Captain America's like, you beat me in the sewers. And Batman's like, but at what cost?
But at what cost?
Side note, I looked at our numbers for the last time we did an animated series episode.
Yeah?
I don't know why that just isn't our show.
Does it pop up?
Oh my god.
Okay, good to know.
Why? I don't even know why we're not. Like, I was looking through the schedule. I cut an episode just to add in an animated series episode because we always get a big numbers boost every time.
Like a main of fights?
No one's going to pick this one up.
Okay.
This isn't going to help affect our numbers. Animated series episodes, every single time we do it, big ol' boost.
Ooh, maybe you should just keep tagging animated series in it.
I think I'm going to start doing that.
That's kind of cheap, but it works.
Do what you gotta do, I guess.
Hey, it's dog eat dog out there, man. Anyway.
But no, our Beware the Gray Ghost episode, crazy numbers.
That was a good episode.
And I snuck it. We only have one for the remainder of the year. Maybe we'll sneak in another one. I don't know. I feel cheap about it. But I know we got one for December, and I haven't started planning beyond December yet, but I think in January I'll be like, it's cold, so we're going to do some Mr. Freeze stuff. Really reaching for reasons to do it. I'm like, it's just to boost numbers.
Be like
it's fine.
Mr. Plow. Hey there, you season.
Would that boost our numbers? I don't know.
All right. Anyway, moving forward. So Superman beats the Hulk and Batman beats Captain America. And then it gets really dumb.
Yeah, and then the Spectre, the Living Tribunal, who have been working behind the scenes. There's been a few behind the scenes things, like Thanos and Darkseid have been fighting this whole time.
Yes.
And actually, it's probably my favorite line. Darkseid's like, "You're just a cheap imitation of me," which is what Thanos is. It was a 100% a ripoff of Darkseid, so I love that they acknowledge that. But then the Spectre and the Living Tribunal are able to combine universes before one can be destroyed, and they create...
Amalgam.
I kind of forgot about that before we were getting into this.
Damn you, Spectre, and damn you, Living Tribunal.
Damn it.
Don't worry, it doesn't last long because it separates itself back apart.
In about 2 pages.
Yeah, but don't worry, we get a whole series of Amalgam comics.
Yeah, like 20 odd of them. We've only done 2.
That's 10%. Anyhow.
But yeah, that's what kicks off the Amalgam universe, and then I guess the Amalgam universe happens, and then we cut back to later in this final issue, where everything is separated again, where the 2 brothers who control each universe fight each other.
Oh, they're fighting for some time. Eons.
Punches.
Swords.
Throat punches.
With the Living Tribunal and Spectre hanging off the sides of these swords.
Nut punches.
There were no nut punches.
Kidney punches.
Maybe.
Dick punches.
Doubtful.
Be funny. And as the 2 brothers are fighting, they see Batman and Superman and realize that the 2 of them are only men, but they are the best humanity has to offer, and they each respect the other one. And
they speak for the first time in years.
They shake hands. They're like, "Good job, you've
done a good job.
You're all right in my eyes."
That's a dumb cop-out, weak-ass ending.
Yeah, they just shake hands. They're like, "You keep doing you.
And I'm just going to leave you alone." And there we go. And we're going to, as punishment, we're leaving Amalgam.
And then they both share a milkshake.
Make mine a milkshake.
You added it? Why do you keep adding an A to everything?
It's a wonderful letter. It's the first letter. It's the alpha letter.
Jeez. But yeah, then they just walk away after shaking hands. They're like, "You're doing all right, you."
I'm so happy for you. Good job. You've done well.
What was weird looking into this online is there wasn't... I mean, it's known, but there's not a ton about it out there.
I didn't really do any research on it. Wrapping up the Jared's Reading Corner, using our patented review system.
It's kind of crap, don't bother.
If you don't know anything about anything, you're going to get lost really fast. That's what I'm going to say.
It's not even that fun. Like, something more focused seems more fun. Like, doing direct character crossovers are more fun. Like, your Spider-Man, Superman one, your Batman Hulk one. But there's other ones that are just, like, character... Oh, Batman Daredevil. Batman Daredevil is great. That's a really fun one. And even there's some upcoming ones that I haven't seen yet. Like, they just announced, like, a Harley Quinn Poison Ivy / Archie crossover.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that'll be fun. But it seems to be more fun when you can focus in on certain things. Like this, you literally got, like, 2 pages per thing. And there was no story. It was just like, here's 2 pages, here's 2 pages, here's 2 pages. And it didn't add up to anything. If you're doing a universe versus universe, that's too big. You really need to boil it down to a character versus character. Or at least that's my thought.
I would agree. Universe versus universe is too big, especially to shoehorn into 4 episodes, 4 issues.
Well, also, issue 1 is a massive waste of space. Like, nothing really happens in issue 1.
It's all exposition.
They're like, here... Oh, we didn't even talk about the homeless box after a while, but they're like, our homeless man box is creating terrible things.
Burn it! Burn it with fire!
They didn't. They just kept on letting things happen in the homeless man box.
They kept trying to tape it up.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
I don't know. This one wasn't.
D-U-M, dumb.
It seems like it should be more fun than it is.
There were fun parts to it, but
Yeah, I'm gonna... Nah, it's not the
If you had
best.
to choose between that or Planet Hulk, Planet Hulk.
Unrelated to this, but yes, Planet Hulk. Usually Planet Hulk. I like that story a lot. But from there, let's move on to letters to the editors.
I really don't believe that you were ready to move on.
Lot of questions, number 1. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
This one was a little demanding.
Oh, okay.
You saw it. You were tagged on Twitter. Like, do it this week. And I was like, I would never do it this week because you asked, but it was there. So
we're going to do it this week.
Yeah, that's fine. something I missed in the Thor Ragnarok trailer that other people caught. Look, I don't know everything.
Clipped.
In one of the earlier shots in the trailer, you see a giant spire, and within that spire, you see a bunch of different Marvel characters. You see Man-Thing, who has been name-dropped in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You see Beta Ray Bill. You see Bi-Beast. You see... I can't remember who else now. Other characters. But the question proposed to us was explain Beta Ray Bill and Bi-Beast.
I don't know everything. I'm sorry.
I brought that back.
He sent that to you?
Yeah.
He didn't tell me he did that.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I'm sorry.
In your pit of despair. Your pit of non-knowledge. Thank you, Josh.
Didn't tell me he did that.
Oh. There's a lot you don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
So within this giant tower in what looks like Asgard, we have all these different Marvel characters. Oh, one of them was Ares. Pretty self-explanatory.
God of War.
Yeah, just the Marvel version of it. Man-Thing, crappier Swamp Thing. I like Swamp Thing a lot. Man-Thing is like the redheaded stepchild of Swamp Thing.
Okay, fair enough.
The weird one was definitely Bi-Beast, which I was thinking about when that question was posed to me. It was like, who's Bi-Beast? I'm like, I don't know. He's a guy with two faces who fights the Hulk. And then I realized how accepting I am of just like comic book lore. I'm like a guy with like a face on top of another face.
Yeah, it's a comic book.
Like, think of a head, and there's just one face stacked on top of another. And I just like bought that as like, yeah, that's a thing. It's a Hulk villain.
It's real. It could happen.
It's two faces on top of each other.
Ugh, two faces.
It's just literally like one face on top of another. And he's just an android that fights the Hulk. There's not a lot to say there. Which also made me feel good. I'm like, what's Bi-Beast's history? Android with multiple faces on top of each other. Fights the Hulk. He's a big dude.
That's all we got.
With two faces.
That's probably where the bi comes from.
Yes. Then who is Beta Ray Bill? Oh, a more complicated answer than I could give in probably this segment. Short version is Beta Ray Bill comes from a race referred to as the Corbinites. And who are the Corbinites, you may ask? Shut up, I'm going to keep going. The Corbinites are an orange people with humanoids with no nose. Corbinites were destroyed, Beta Ray Bill was turned into a cyborg, and from there he turned into a horse-looking alien. So we went from a dude with no nose to a dude with a horse face. From no nose to the biggest nose ever.
Wow.
And not only was he a dude with the biggest nose ever, he was a dude who was worthy of picking up Mjolnir, and he got his own Uru hammer forged by Odin, referred to as Stormbreaker.
Is this why he had the horse face?
Nah, he just had that because it looked visually interesting.
Okay.
And then what did he do once he received this Uru hammer and he was a cyborg from his people?
Knocked his nose back to a reasonable proportion.
The only thing he knocked was Thor's ex, her boots. I didn't quite get where I wanted to.
No, you actually got quite close to where you were trying to go.
Yeah, I tried. I failed.
No, I would give you like, you were like 90% of the way there.
And then he was knocking boots with a lady Sif who had just ended her thing with Thor like right afterwards, but then they had a real buddy relationship.
Rebounding harder than Shaq in the 90s.
There wasn't a... Why are we bringing up Shaq so much?
Rebounding harder than Dennis Rodman in the late 80s and early 90s.
And then with more magic than Shaq had.
He didn't have any. Kazam was a movie, man.
I was going to say when he was on the Orlando Magic. That's where I was trying to go.
Okay, I got
I'm not quite getting there.
He didn't win a title in Orlando. He was like, He was a spectacular player and really special and like fed the league. But the Orlando
really
Magic were not the Chicago Bulls. Sorry.
That's really when he broke out, was when he was with the Magic.
Well, that's because he started with the Magic.
Yeah, I know.
He was a big deal coming out of LSU.
Either way, Beta Ray Bill is basically more visually interesting Thor.
He has a damn horse face. Of course he is.
Yeah, but it's like a demonic horse face.
See, you lost me. They're like a satanic goat.
Nah, Beta Ray Bill is one of the most interesting characters in the Marvel Universe.
Everyone loves the beta version of anything.
He's the Beta Max versus Thor VHS. He was more expensive and higher quality.
But nobody really got into it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because they couldn't afford it.
But, I don't know, Beta Ray Bill is an amazing, fantastic character. He has been criminally underused in recent years. just hinting at him in Thor Ragnarok. I really hope he shows up. I mean, we're digging deep into Walter Simonson's run of the upcoming movie, and he originated in that run, which I highly recommend everybody get. We're going to be covering the Ragnarok portion of it soonish.
Oh, there we go.
We are. It's going to be a 3-issue thing that we do.
The 3 show thing?
No, just 3 issues.
I'll read 3 issues and okay.
We're going to take like a massive run and just cherry pick a couple issues.
You're going to cherry pick them and I'm going to read them.
Yeah, the Ragnarok ones.
Okay, cool.
Because Thor Ragnarok is coming.
Oh, it is coming. It's right around the corner.
It's Ragnarok around the corner.
Now, see, that was more of a stretch than the only thing he knocked with his hammer was Lady Sif.
Boots. I don't know.
All right.
I tried. This isn't a scripted show.
Speaking of scripted shows.
I try and make things up. Oh.
Yes, now we're here. We made it to our big announcement. Your big announcement. You're looking for 14 voice actors, because I just signed myself up.
17 then.
17, sorry.
Boy, I've been mulling this around for a few weeks. It feels weird to say it out loud. But I've done crazier things like start a comic book store.
That's true, you have.
What I want to do, you may know this, and I say this like it's a question when I actually know you know this. One of my favorite things in the world is Firefly and Serenity.
Yes.
Short-lived TV show. 14 episodes of that show, some comics, there's a movie. But one thing that's out there that has never been done, I did look into this, is there is a script for the next episode.
Okay.
It's not a final script, it's a draft. It definitely needs work, but we're not going to deal with that. There is a 75% finished script. It's a full script, it just needs a bit of reworking. But there is one more story out there that has never been produced. And what I want to do is get 19 different people involved and record all of the different voice parts. Someone will do the scene direction, but I'm also going to lay in music. I'm going to lay in sound effects. And we're going to produce the episode that has never been produced.
That's kind of cool. Now, do you need someone's permission to do that?
I am not going to monetize that one. Most, like, when I put these shows up on YouTube, like, I'll throw in, like, the monetization feature and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been one show so far, because I put in some copy, like, if there's ever an issue of copyright, I don't monetize it.
Yes.
And the Buffy show had one of those where I just cut that off so I didn't get into trouble.
Smart.
And I'm not going to pay anyone. It's just a whole thing. But I basically need you to be able to record your voice with a relative sense of professionalism, like probably not a laptop internal microphone. We've done a few of those shows and they sound like crap.
Yes, they do. We've actually come a long way.
This could be doing it if you happen to be local in the store or over Skype. Either way, just because you're not going to have a back and forth with another actor, I'm going to need to be involved just to direct it a little bit in the direction that I need it to be. These roles can be really big, or some of them are only a couple of lines. I want to try and put out the Firefly script that was never produced.
That sounds like it'll be a fun project.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm probably not going to release it until December, January-ish, but I'm also going to need a lot of time to work on it because I'm going to be literally working off of, 23 different audio tracks.
It's a big project.
Yeah, and it's not a money thing. This is purely this would be fun thing.
This is your fan fiction.
It's not. It's a script that was written by one of the writers. It was a planned thing. Also, I'll reiterate, it's a draft, so it's not a final script, but I've looked into it, and no one has ever tried to make a thing out of it.
Well, guess what?
And this script has been out there for 10 years.
We are going to do that. You are going to do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to do. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the best version of the script, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to put that last story out there that's never seen the light of day.
Cool.
Wasn't planning on announcing that this week.
Well, guess what?
Hey, our sound guy, give me some advice. Come talk to me.
Speaking of selling you stuff, where might they have done that? At the store. Where can we find you?
Yeah, 210 Water Street, downtown Hollowell, Maine. Of course, I am over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Editor's Note Comics. If you want to get the show a day early, you can go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month will get you this show one day early every single week, except for next week because of scheduling where it's all going to be at the same day. Look, it's 99% of the time.
99.8% of the time.
We're usually pretty good. Next week, just for
not
scheduling.
As pure as ivory soap, but damn close.
We're not killing all that bacteria, but we're getting there.
Ivory really isn't. I don't think ivory's antibacterial. It's just
don't know.
pure.
Just guessing things.
Anyway.
Knocking boots. And the show's on iTunes and other podcasting platforms, especially on iTunes. If you could rate, review, subscribe. We took a little bit of a hit last month because of a RSS feed whoops-a-doodle. And of course...
we were in the whatnot shelf.
Yeah. And later this month, and I'll keep bringing it up, friend of the show, Steve Levine, will be up at the store. We're going to be doing a big sale, a one-day sale. Come out, see Steve. He's a good guy.
Have fun.
I like him.
Yes.
He's very friendly.
He's been to the store before. Friend of the store.
Yeah, he's in one of my top 5 favorite episodes I've ever done.
The one I wasn't in?
You were in 2 of my top 5.
Really?
I was thinking about this not that long ago because I did one that I really liked. If I was going to rank like top 5 episodes that I've done, because now, I mean, they're not all out there. I've done over 100 because of the other show, which haven't all been released. I think our best ones have been the We Wish You a Turtles Christmas.
Oh, my man.
Wrong Turtles one, but yes.
That was in We Wish You a Turtles Christmas.
That was Out of the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
I think We Wish You a Turtles Christmas and the 1994 Fantastic Four one have been our best ones.
Those were good.
The one I did with Steve was really good. And then I have 2 over on Buffy that I think have been really funny. One was I called like Pick Up Your Pull List. And then there's one that's not quite out yet. It's called Friggin' Sane, where we make fun of New Englandisms a lot.
Oh. That's over on the Buffy back issue bin, the other show?
Yeah, that one's really funny. I can't wait for that one to get released. It's probably like a month-ish out.
Oh,
but
okay.
I can't wait for that one to go out because it's really funny.
Okay. Good.
It was after that one I was like, that was one of my best ones. Like, what are my best ones? And you're on Twitter.
I am on Twitter at Junior Rich. Next week, The Dark Tower.
I can't wait.
Was that good inflection? You want me to do it again? Next week on the podcast, The Dark Tower.
The man in black fled across the desert.
And the gunslinger followed.
I can't wait. I have so much to say. I already know I have a ton to say in spoilers just because I think I've even said it like in news before, but I don't want to reiterate it. I have so much to say about this.
You seem very excited.
I am. I love The Dark Tower. That's my favorite book series. I think I started reading that like back in 2010. I remember summer of 2010 I started reading it.
It's a long time ago.
Oh, I was around you that summer.
That's a long time ago.
Wearing a lot of wife beaters that summer.
You were.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back for The Dark Tower, baby.
Bye.